Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to you all. I hope you guys are doing very well today and you're ready to start your day with me, Muhammad Doom, and the very chipper Shazad Khan. Assalamu alaikum Shazad, how are you?
Walaikum assalam. I'm absolutely perfect, and we do hope and pray that everybody out there is perfect too as well. It's time to rise and shine, wake and bake. Please get up and please make sure that you've got all the energy to fulfill your dreams. I think that's what I wanted to say. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, it is very essential to be motivated and being focused, because half of the time I think what we do is that we lose our focus. No.
Absolutely. I think there's so many distractions in our lives that it's easy to get tempted. It's easy to stray off the path that you're supposed to be on. But that's why we're here, because we're here to get you guys focused and to help you stay on that track as long as you can.
Yeah, and today we do have a very amazing show lined up for you guys, and I think it is all about being focused as well, because in the first, whatever we are discussing, obviously I'm not going to give away the topic just right now, because we do have our headlines and the top stories, obviously, and then we do have our public service message. But other than that, it's all about being focused.
Yes, exactly. So shall we start with our top stories of the day and then let's start the show?
Let's do it.
Okay, Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif calls for an accord among Islamic countries to eliminate the menace of terrorism that is affecting world peace. And this is something that every country needs to do together.
Exactly. And moving on, ladies and gentlemen, National Assembly will meet today at 3 p.m. while Senate session will be held on Friday at 6 p.m. at Parliament House, Islamabad. Moving on towards the next top story for now, Minister for Planning and Development, Mr. Ehsan Iqbal, urges people to reject propaganda of anti-China-Pakistan economic corridor elements.
And now moving on to the sports, Pakistan batting legend Yunus Khan has received a hero's welcome at Karachi Airport after returning from the West Indies tour. So that's great.
I think it is great.
Like living legends of our generation, so that's fantastic.
And I think that's how we need to pay respect for all those people, you know, who've actually done quite well for their own country, and they've actually made us proud as well. And Yunus Khan, ladies and gentlemen, is the 13th person on this planet who's actually scored 10,000 runs in test matches, and other than that, the very first one in Pakistan.
Amazing.
And with that, we do have to move on towards our public service message. Let's take a look at our public service message.
So the public service message today will be done by Shazad Khan, because it's a very good one.
Exactly. So since I like driving cars and I can repair majority of the mechanical works of the car as well. So there was one thing which I wanted to share with all our amazing viewers who are out there. Even if you are traveling on motorway or GT road or locally, you know, what you need to do is that, for example, what we do is whenever we go to a tire shop, we tell the guy to please make sure to put in 30 pounds of air into the tires, which is not very feasible over here in summers, because of the fact that in summers, since it's heat and the roads which we drive on, they get hot as well, and the tires, since they're made up of rubbers, they expand and they can burst too. So please make sure that you drop down 2 pounds, just that, and just keep a regular check on that as well. And for instance, if you're going to a petrol station, make sure that you do not fill up your tank to the maximum as well, because there are chances of catching fire.
Exactly, so do take care with that. So now let's move on to our show. We have a fantastic show lined up for you. Yesterday we had a really interesting show. You're talking about cultural diversity and how to increase dialogue, and music is one form to break down these barriers and misunderstandings and connect people. It's a way to escape. There's so many ways of doing that, right?
Exactly. And other than that, ladies and gentlemen, what we have picked up on today is okay, initially I said that, you know, it's all about focus, because in life you cannot achieve if you do not have that focus, which is necessary to attain whatever you want to achieve. Now we have picked up on writing skills, and whenever we talk about writing skills are not just related to writing a book, obviously, and a poet, you know, and then other than that, somebody who wants to write a letter to his or her lover somewhere abroad as well. You know, there are different ways. Even email writing is a very, I think, you have to be very talented to do or probably explain what you want to explain to the audiences who are out there.
Exactly. And as we mentioned, so there was music as one form of communication, you have writing as another form. But like Shazad said, there's different levels and there's different messages that people want to get across. There's some stories, or there's a moral issue, or there's something you're trying to get across. But it is a way to also escape reality.
Exactly.
I mean, you can keep focused, but It depends what your focus is, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. It depends whether you want to write fiction, you want to write drama, you know, and then there's like whole lot of other descriptions to what you're writing. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, obviously you have to be very imaginative for that. And some people say that it is inborn, it is innate. But I think hard work beats talent. So, you know, what we're going to do is we are going to give away some few little amazing kind of recommendations for your kids, for you, obviously, if you want to write something. And for all those people who say that, you know, it is inborn, okay, you know, if you want to live with that, live with that.
Yeah.
And with that, I think we do need to introduce our guest.
Absolutely, and Shazad's going to be introducing our wonderful guest to discuss how to actually become a good writer and get to the level where you can reach the masses and make an impact.
Exactly. So on my right-hand side, ladies and gentlemen, ex-senior Joint Secretary, Government of Pakistan, famous book writer, none other than Mr. Faizullah Khan Niazi. And he has written a book, Asre Hazir Ka Batni Istarab aur Rohani aur Tamadani Inqilab. Here's the book, it's with me, and the First Lady of Pakistan even wrote him a letter saying, thank you very much for your services, and thank you very much for writing the book. Hello, sir. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
being
very
here. And
much
we
for
will
joining
discuss in detail for all people who don't read Urdu as well, what the book is about, where the inspiration came from, and you know how it reached the top levels.
And alongside Mr. Faizullah Khan Niazi, we do have somebody who is very brilliant with writing, you know, and whenever she speaks, and I think she's a poet herself, and she's the member of the Asia Pacific Writers. She's author of 3 books, and 4 books are under publication. She's written 3 films, and she's none other than Miss Farheen Chaudhary. Hello, ma'am. How are you?
Hello,
Assalamu
I'm very
alaikum.
fine and good morning.
Good morning.
It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. It's
Assalamu alaikum.
A very brilliant good morning.
Thank you very much for coming over. Thank you very much for
Thank you
joining
for
us.
inviting me.
And alongside her, we have got Member Advisory Ministry of Federal Education and Training, Ex-Secretary General Pakistan National Commission for UNESCO and SESCO, Ex-Deputy Education Advisor, Ministry of Education, Mr. Muhammad Dawood. Hello, sir. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum salam. Thank you very much and very fine. Good morning.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much for
very
being
much
here
once again.
today.
Thank you.
So let's get started with the conversation as well. So,
So he's-
writing skills, sir. So whenever we say writing skills, what comes to your head? The first thing which comes to your head?
So far as I think the writing skills are many skills, there could be good topic which you can conceive that topic must be attracting the people and the students and the readership, develop readership I mean. And after topic, it is the substance you are going to, on the basis of your research, you will adding in the book or in the letter or in the correspondence or your essay or article. So there should be, there are some glaring topics and ingredients, I mean ingredients and the ingredients in the topic, because substance, focus, nucleus and the material we are putting in the book or in the essay, we precisely speaking, there is as we say, precis writing. Precis writing is a precis of the things or the big topic, but book is a vast, canvas to work on the vast. My book is on the, it is a unique topic in the sense because Allama Iqbal mentioned it in his book, Payam-e-Mashriq, in the preamble of Payam-e-Mashriq, I think 95 years ago, and nobody attempted it before. And when I studied the book Payam-e-Mashriq, and I studied the preamble of Allama Iqbal, because Allama Iqbal never didn't write a preamble of his other book except Payam-e-Mashriq.
Okay.
Actually, it was in the response of Goethe's Payam-e-Maghrib.
Okay.
Exactly.
Allama wrote this.
Excellent.
And this is the actually this is the topic which was actually named by Allama Iqbal Aqwam-e Alam ka Batni Israab.
Right.
Now this is the time we are passing through in the not only the subcontinent but the region and the world. With reference to the Batni Israab, the restlessness, excitement, and other factors which are associated with this. So I tried to attempt it in the way that people at large and every student, not only students, people, general readership, they should take benefit of it in the sense to make scheme of things in the right direction for love, for peace, and fraternity, and human rights, and mutual respect.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And we'll delve into it in a bit more depth during the course of the show. But let's move on to Miss Farheen. Writing skills. We were discussing this in the makeup room as well. It's something that we're here to discuss. You know, you guys are all very, you're published authors, you have your own books coming out, but is this a skill that one can develop over time, or do you think that someone's born with this natural ability?
as-
Like musicians always say.
As Shazad had very
Ahmad ho rahi
sarcastic,
hai.
if you're born with one, but I think germs are there always.
Okay.
Then then seed comes up, and then the roots, and then everything. Uh, Germs should be there. Later on, you can groom your skills. Now that depends how you are groomed.
Okay.
Definitely your parental influence, your education, your environment, and most of it your observation. How you observe things, to which level of sensitivity, and how you can reproduce it, how you can express it. And definitely your schooling grooms you, your teachers groom you, your parents, your elder sisters. Somebody is there always who understand your equal to your mental wavelength and encourages you. At times they discourage you, as in my case, my mother was always against my writing, be a doctor, be a doctor.
Yeah.
But I was a rebellious, so I didn't become a doctor and
Yeah.
a writer. So it's not always that you get the favorable conditions.
All right.
And when you survive out of unfavorable conditions, then it is confirmed that you are born writer, okay? But you have to definitely develop your writing skills. And for writing skills, children should be taught that if they have some, suppose I'm asked to write, as in childhood, to write an essay on my best friend,
Yeah.
or my mom or brother or whatever. So I should be taught to focus on his personality,
Yeah.
not daएं बाएं, to write what he is actually.
Yeah. My
how
father drives
he-
the car very fast.
How important he or she is to me. That should be the focus. The
Okay.
focus you were talking
Yeah.
about.
That is
And
amazing.
then your vocabulary should be there. You should have the vocabulary
Okay, so
and the
let's,
expression.
okay,
Yeah.
we'll move on to that now.
Yeah, I just move on to Daud Saab over here. So Daud Saab, obviously Fazullah Saab said that it needs to be substance. She's saying that there needs to be somebody behind it, who grooms you. For example, if I ask you that who was there for you who told you that, Daud, if you're going to do it this way, you're going to become a very recognized writer as well. So who was there? Who was your motivation?
Yes, I think it was my schooling,
Okay.
early schooling, which started me grooming how to say and how to write. And even today, I think schooling is the basis for developing a writer or developing the writing skills. First of all, when the teacher asked his child to write a paragraph on something, like you have watched a cricket match or you have gone to sightseeing to Murray and just narrate it. This is the starting, and then there is coaching by the teacher that you have, this is the wording, this is the vocabulary you required, and sometimes the vocabulary is not relevant. It is just words, no meaning.
Yeah.
Meaning should be there, meaningful, not too heavy vocabulary. For example, I give an example of a book which was beyond the level of the foreigner Pakistani students. I was teaching in Pakistan Embassy College, Beijing, long time ago, where the foreigners were used to be taught the Pakistani culture, book on Pakistani culture. It was full of so hard vocabulary that the students and children had to consult dictionary on each line.
Okay.
And
Was it an Urdu dictionary or an English one?
English, it was in English.
Okay.
It was in English, it was for foreigners.
Okay.
And also, we were discussing the local vocabulary, local idioms, like the culture of Pakistan and the ways of a marriage ceremony, the traditions of a marriage ceremony, and then we are writing in English, Mehndi, Rasam, and Hina, flan, flan. So that was not attractive for the children. And I thought that that book was written by all PhDs. There were 7 PhD holders. They were thinking about themselves, not about the target reader.
All right.
Target reader should be there. Like Niazi Saab's book is clear conceptually that who is the target reader. It is for intellectuals. It is for the highly educated people, not for ordinary persons.
I think it's for all those people who want to enlighten themselves spiritually as well. I think that's
Yes,
what
of
it is.
course, yes.
And that's what I wanted to pick up on as well. Now, Fazullah Saab, since obviously we're talking about writing skills, right? So what happens is, or what goes around is that, for example, if we are planning a show or if I'm writing a song, in my head I do think that, okay, these are the people I'm going to cater with my words. Now, especially when you look at the cover of the book, which says Asre Hazir ka batini istirab or Rohani or Tamadini Inqilab, I'm going to move on to the next shelf immediately. So that means that it is absolutely not for the youngsters who are out there. Who are you trying to target with the book?
Or
you've
is it for the
written?
youngsters as well?
Actually, I have seen that level of creativity is lacking in the society.
All right.
Number one, not only in English but also in Urdu and other regional language also.
Okay.
It is partially because of influx of and flood of IT regime,
Yeah.
net, laptop, etc. But book cannot be substituted with these devices and gadgetries.
Okay.
Book is book, and book is the best friend. It confines you for 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
But if I am studying on laptop or net, I may exhaust or tire after some time.
Yeah.
My target is not the only intellectuals.
Okay.
Actually, this is not a book of tasawwuf of mysticism. This is a book of history, mysticism plus theophilosophy, philosophy, political, geopolitical, and regional and international politics also.
Okay.
Because restlessness, excitement, and inner self is found in every human being, whether he is Muslim, Jew, Sikh, he is human being, he will be facing this phenomena
Okay.
by and large. So it is addressing the humanity and for the welfare of humanity, in the sense that they should know what is going on in the different direction and in the different scenario of the world at global level, because we have become a global village now,
Okay.
in the sense. And the second end, somebody was telling me some Sikh has shown his interest, or some Hindu, that they want to do some PhD on this topic.
Wow.
Actually, this was conceived from Allama Iqbal's preamble topic, which he wrote on Payam Mashriq, his famous book. I mean, this is now there are certain references. I made some, in the sense, good work and hard work also, because research papers are not available easily to undertake some good research work.
Exactly.
One, research paper, research sources, and your interaction with the people, and good libraries, because the fashion and the culture of libraries is also fading, because there is hardly any good budgetary allocation for the libraries, even at the provincial government, district level, because laptop and other IT installations and information and devices has taken over the requirement of libraries and book even.
Okay.
Even the good publishers like Sangamil is a top publisher of Pakistan. He was saying that there is hardly any allocation for the libraries to purchase the books, because even department schools, colleges cannot purchase the books.
Okay.
There.
So, yeah. Okay. So I just would like to pause you then.
Yeah.
Let's pick up on this, because you've highlighted multiple different factors which are really important. So you've mentioned the fact that now there's different mediums. It's the book that is the best friend, and then the libraries are, not being kept up to the standard that they should be, or being promoted. Let me move on to Farheen. How important is it now to embrace the different mediums and the different platforms in order to keep encouraging writing? Because as Sir's mentioned, that there is lacking in the regional books, literature in the regional languages. We are lacking creativity. So how can we incorporate the different platforms? How do we keep this going?
He mentioned IT issues. I think we can't go back. Can't take the steps back, because IT or the social media is now part of
Even if
your
I'm
life.
going back, I'm not going back to school.
No, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So the main thing is this: how important it is which medium, and how to balance radios. As we were talking, that TV has killed radio and social media has killed TV and radio both.
Yeah.
So book reading and book writing definitely decreased. But there are so many factors. Books are not being published as such. There's no I mean, governmental funds as such with any organization to encourage writers. Definitely, when it's a ghate ka sauda kind of thing, to people, they are not, even the good writers, they are doing commercial writings to earn money. Plus, the young generation, when they see they can earn a lot of things while sitting on the laptop and doing a lot of things, they can earn thousands. So why should they go for writing a book in which they have to spend their own money? It's very simple.
Yeah.
So a lot of students and youngsters I've seen who have got very good writing skills, like you.
Thank
but
you.
like you, I know you hate books. No, you don't hate books, but you know, once we had very the
Yes,
start
so-
interaction on electronic media and all that.
Getting
And she-
personal now.
See, your words leave an impact. That's why you have to be careful with what words
yes,
you
you
use.
have such a strong impact. So, because it's natural, because youngsters go with the swim, whatever is important in the latest. So, I think the books, it should be brought into electronic media. Like in West, now the books are on Amazon and all and that. But in Pakistan, we don't have any such thing.
Okay.
And we don't
But so,
have
no, wait. So I'm going to pause you now.
Yeah.
So that's fine. We all live here. We know what we don't have. We're not here to criticize and be very negative. So let's talk-
Solution.
So give
Yes.
me what?
Yeah.
Yes,
Ah,
we're here
this
to
is-
encourage.
Uh-huh.
Right now, I feel discouraged by your
Yeah.
words. So
Yes,
encourage
I'm
me.
encouraging now.
Inspire me, yes.
First, now I'm going to show you the
Yes.
brighter side.
Yeah.
What I meant in literary organizations and educational sectors, I think there should be societies, dramatic societies or literary societies, as we used to have in our college and university life. Nowadays, I don't find any. People don't have time, even the teachers don't have time for that. I think there should be workshops among the schools, colleges and universities where 1 month workshop or a week workshop should be there for the writing skills. And a lot of children have the talent, especially in English, Urdu, they've got talent. And they should be encouraged, they should be taught, proper established writers should be called on, and they should be, they should be taught. There are now mass media masters and all that, but that is a different thing.
That's different.
That's a
Okay.
different thing.
Now there's-
But especially writing on writing skills, book reading, there should be workshops in educational sectors.
Okay, agreed.
Yeah.
Now I think it's my turn to ask for Daud Sahab over here as well. But because we started the show saying that we are talking about writing skills. Okay, it was never about books. It was never about social media. It was never about the internet. So now, Daud Sahab, what I want to ask you is, writing is writing. Whether you write over the internet, whether you write a blog, whether you write a book, whether you write a letter. Now, what do you think are those basic skills which are required to write? And I think that we shouldn't actually get into a debate where we say that we need to increase the shelf life of the books, and because they do have,
Well-
people do love the feel of the paper as well. So to write, how do you differentiate? For example, if I'm writing a blog, or if you're writing a book, do you think it's different or it's pretty much the same?
I think we can categorize the books into different categories.
Sure.
One is for children, one is for growing children, and then
I
college
think I
students.
fall in this category. I'm still growing.
college students, then university students, and this is syllabus book I am talking.
Yeah.
Then helping books for the children, for those like in primary class, some helping like poems, like some paragraph writing, or small stories with the narrations and with pictures, with attractive pictures, so that a child can feel attraction to read that book. So we are good at writing books for the adults, books for the grown-up people, books for the educated, highly educated people. Like this is a very fine book. It can be comparable with any book in the world on this topic. We are very good to write on politics, in economics, in science, in different in engineering, but for grown-up people, but not for the syllabus people. The crisis is at syllabus level. We are not visionary to write books for the target readers. Like for a child, we don't realize the age group and the requirement of the child. We sometimes express our own knowledge and try to impress or impose our knowledge upon the children. Like for a kindergarten student, I have seen a book in which he has been asked to write a word handkerchief. Handkerchief is a bit longer.
Yeah.
rumal is smaller, but in English, handkerchief is bit longer. It is not meant for the KG student.
Exactly.
But the teacher is not mentally so alert or visionary that he should understand what is the vision and what is the capacity of the child.
It's like xylophone, or what.
And in this way, we impose too much knowledge upon the children at the school level and college level. And when they are grown up in college level,
They don't want to see the books again.
Yes, because they have already learned too many things.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So target should be clear, and the crisis is at syllabus level, not crisis in poetry. We are very good at poetry writing book. We are very good at investigative and research book writing. We are very good at writing the international level books, but very poor to write syllabus books.
So, before we move on to the next question, yes, Farina.
Yeah, I wanted to add a point that when I was a child, and even now, when a child, a bit here and there from the typical focus line, teachers snub them instead of encouraging them. They say, no, I've given you these 10 lines, you have to recite them and you have to learn by heart and you have write same thing. Otherwise, that is the reason that children who are created, they are snubbed down. I think they should be encouraged. If a child write, I remember when I was a child, just to quote for the kids, I was in class 5th and my teacher asked me to write an essay on my cat, on my pet. I wrote very silly, stupid kind of
What
things.
did you write though?
I
Just like
still
that, if you
remember.
remember.
I still remember that my cat is very naughty, and she comes into my bed and she scratches me. My teacher, what is this nonsense? And another teacher, she encouraged. She said, look at her creativity. She didn't write the pet lines. You said cat has 4 paws and 2 ears and
the
2
colour,
eyes.
yeah. Okay, excellent.
So creativity should be encouraged. Even it seems to be silly or stupid. But if you groom that creativity, that off the beat kind of thing, that could make a very good writer.
And I think I need to probably thank one of my professors. His name was Sir Tariq, and you know what he used to say? He used to teach us marketing. Now they used to bring in quite a lot of different case studies from Ivy League universities and whatnot, and majority of the class would always fail. Now the only thing which was good about me was that he used to tell me after the exam that whatever you write, if after reading I think that you have convinced me from your writing,
that is
you
great.
get full marks.
That is
I think that was the way where he actually told me that, whatever you can write, if you can convince the other guy by your writing, I think you're going to pass the exam.
It's all about critical and analytical skills and developing those as well. So we will be discussing all of that. We'll be discussing the importance of mentoring and grooming in regards to honing and polishing your writing skills.
Exactly, because all of these guys, they went to some basic primary schools as well. So how come they have got the habit of writing as well, and and they're complaining about the younger generation? So let's ask that. Let's take a break. Good morning. right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And for everybody who just got tuned into PT Volume watching well this morning, alongside Shahzad Khan and Maha Makhdoom, and I stole Maha's lines.
No, you didn't.
Oh, really?
Because I was going to ask the question.
Because I just heard the voice. So I was like, you were about to talk as well.
No,
So
you know, sometimes I breathe. Like even our producers and some people get confused. Like, Maha, why he always cuts you? I was like, no, I'm just breathing. I just do really awkward things. Like I'm going to say something, but I'm not.
no, but that's perfect. So, ladies and gentlemen, obviously we're going to get more specific about writing skills. And before the break, we want to ask quite a lot of questions.
Yes.
And for that, we'll move on to Maha now.
Exactly, because we're not going to be able to cover everything we've realized, but we will try and cover as much as we can. So before the break, we were talking about the importance of having mentors and grooming. Actually, I'll start with you, sir. So we're talking about the importance of teachers. You know, you worked in the education sector yourself as well. Now, what we've seen is back then we used to have we used to have plenty of people with qualities to encourage their students, or maybe to see that talent or that special spark within a student. I feel that maybe I may be completely wrong, but we don't have that eye to see that bright star or within our group.
Yes.
What's happened with our grooming and mentoring over the few decades? Because I think that's played a role in the decreased quality of writing.
Or do you think it's the elders who've lost the eye?
Yes, of course. I think this is social phenomena in every sector. The seriousness of purpose and seriousness of the performance has deteriorated. Likewise, teachers have not that much devotion as we had at our early childhood life. And teachers are now commercial minded, like they love to go for tuition and go to academies and different things.
Okay.
But even now, I think the skill of book writing develops from this early school childhood education. If a child is given the time and guidance, he can develop and inculcate the habit of writing, like in Urdu, Bazm-e-Adab or literary clubs or debating clubs. Like this is creativity. How to write a speech for the debate, how to make a speech and how to deliver, how to say, how to express things. First, a child has to learn how to write, then he can make a speech.
Absolutely. Okay.
So early schooling is very important, and good books for early schooling are required, which are according to the mental target of the children.
Okay. Absolutely. Okay. So what do you feel about this?
Well, I think we should promote a culture of book reading through promotion of book fairs, and at the early age of students at primary level, I mean elementary level, then high school level, then college level. And there should be some sort of segregation and division between the early childhood and the grown-up students and university students and afterward. But you can see there were 2-3 categorization. Literature before partition,
Okay.
and the literature book writing post independence period, and the literature and the book writing and the reading culture and after 1980.
Okay.
Now these are 3-4 stages and eras which actually brought some change in the thinking of the writer and the students and the reader also.
Okay.
And the fading culture of book and due to lack of book culture, publishers are no more interested because their books are not being purchased by even by the government and the students and the general readers, because publisher is not earning anything.
Exactly.
Big publisher, even they have left the job and they have left the business also.
Okay.
Now they are surviving just to save them, because they have the legacy of their business from their father and forefather, etc. But as far as in Pakistan, the syllabus of our schools and colleges is concerned, there should be some sort of consideration and consolidation at national level to develop a national curricula in the sense, and the control of HEC, because we have lost the control of HEC on the provinces, because at the federal level we have HEC, but at the provincial level they have their own direction in the syllabus. Now the syllabus, to create a harmony, to create a brotherhood, human respect and mutual respect and national spirit, we must know that we cannot deviate from the ideology of Pakistan and to inculcate in the mind of students from the early age what is the two-nation theory and what was the motive of creation of Pakistan and why we separated from British India as a full-fledged, as an independent country, Islamic Republic of Pakistan. At least we should promote our students on the basis of our ideology and the parameters and the priorities and the aspirations of nation.
Okay.
And I think it is our responsibility to remind you again and again. I think that's why we are here as well. But let's move on towards another dimension which I wanted to discuss, and that is that quite a lot of people, when they write books, they do have these issues where they say, I mean, for example, if somebody is an avid reader, if you read books, if you read books, you might find it very interesting where somebody has written a book and the lines within that book which you're reading might not belong to the same writer. So plagiarism is going around as well. And we do not have a system in place. We do have a system in our universities now, luckily, that they can check for the plagiarism as well, whether students have been copying or pasting from the internet or whatnot.
Pirated versions also.
But how do we do it? For example, if somebody's a book writer, for example, if you're writing something, how do you protect your own rights as a writer?
There's no law as such, but in Karachi, in Liaquat Library at the back of PTV Center, Karachi, there is a small ledger file. If you want to save your or protect your script writing or book, you can just enter it there and get it stamped and copyright. But it's not very common, and lot of writers don't know. While listening to all of you, while listening to all of you, I had another suggestion, as you said, that IT we can't remove or do that. Why not? Some people have created certain forums, literary forums in English and Urdu of poetry and book reading on this social media and net. I think these forums should be encouraged, because I've learned a lot during these 4 years. Some people from Germany, some from India, some from other countries, they have created Almi Adab forum or poetry forums. There they have added something really good, that they are encouraging new writers. So they put up their items there, either it's poetry or afsana or short story or whatever, the blogs. So they are being criticized by the seasoned writers. They tell them there on net that this writing has this flaw, this good thing, this bad point. So I think they are on private level, net is playing its role, which is not being played on government sector or in the education sectors. So I think this is the people who reject IT sector, I think this is something very positive going on and started. And I think that should be enhanced, and youngsters should take privilege of it.
This should be integrated, actually, integrated with the culture of books, because this should not fade. Because IT regime and the laptop and the internet, and they should go hand in hand. I mean,
I truly get it. Doubts of wanted to add.
Yes, I want to add that luckily at the moment, Higher Education Commission and universities are very much conscious about plagiarism. They have developed a system of checking that. And for other things, for other like creative writings, like the literary books or other books, we have an organization, PIPO, Pakistan Intellectual Property Copyright Protection Organization, which is functioning. PIPO. It protects if somebody complains that something has done, some wrong thing has been done, that organization takes care of that. And about the promotion of the book reading, which is not very common now. Book writing is too much nowadays, but reading is difficult. We don't find reader, but we find writers. And for that, the present government and the organizations concerned for that, like National Book Foundation, like other literary organization, National Language Promotion Department and Academy of Letters, they are promoting the culture of book fair. And that has served the purpose and attracted from Karachi to Peshawar many.
And I think 2 or 3 events even took place previous month or the month
Yeah.
before that as well.
That has become annual feature. That has become
Exactly.
annual feature, and that is affecting even the districts and tehsil level people.
Amazing. But very quickly before we wrap up, sir, 3 tips from each one of you about writing a book or whatever they want to write. Very quickly.
Or even
3
one.
quick tips.
Oh, yeah.
to develop good readership,
Yeah.
and well equip yourself on the basis of knowledge you gain from the books and from extra reading.
Amazing.
First of all, read good books, focus on your subject, and use natural expression.
Very nice.
Like if we are writing for children, we should read the books which are already published. Like we should read about the poems of Sufi Tabassum if you want to write the poems for the children, like Tot Batot or Surya Ki Gudiya Vagara.
Yeah.
And if we are writing investigative books, we should read have idea of research methodology. And if we are going to write the literary books, we should have sittings among the Halka Arbabe Zauq and other literary forums to learn what is going on at the moment.
Amazing
Wonderful.
that
Thank
is,
you
and for all
so
those
much.
aunties and wives and khalas who are out there, please
Why
stop
women?
reading those jasusi digests
Why women?
and applying them on your husbands as well. Please don't do that, because as Miss Fareen said, please read good books.
Yes, and all the men who are reading trash as well, they should also be reading good things. So with that, what we've realized is that you need to have substance, you need a nucleus. It's about finding a mentor as well. It's about getting the right teachers, and it's about looking at everything, because it's about observation, because there's not, you're not lacking for topics. It's about the lacking of creativity that's out there. So
And
read.
because half of the time when you observe, it's not very necessary to observe very keenly, because of the fact that if you are very imaginative, if you can think on your own of different spaces and places, you can do that too. But even for that, you do need a bit of preparation and observation. All
Exactly.
right.
I feel like we've got some technical problem because I'm not hearing anything in
Yeah.
my voice. But so we're going to do our fun
Interesting
fact of the
facts.
day, which is today we're going to learn about a cheetah.
Yeah, that's me.
And me. Okay, so cheetahs can reach a top speed of around 70 miles per hour in about 4 seconds.
They can live to about 10 to 12 years.
They cannot roar, they can only purr.
Years ago, kings in India kept tame cheetahs and used them for hunting.
And they do not hibernate.
Cheetahs are endangered because their habits are diminishing, and also because humans-wildlife conflicts.
Exactly. So with that, that is all we've got time for today. Do log on to our Facebook fan page,
This is with the name of World This Morning.
our Twitter page,
World This Morning without a G.
our Daily Motion and YouTube
World
page.
This Morning, World This Morning.
And the repeat is at
11 p.m.
have a wonderful day. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning.
Till the next time, 1, 2, 3.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.